My name is Matt Thomson, and I have my wife Kimber, and we have a rapidly approaching 2.5-year-old daughter Reese, and our dog Sebastian, who I still think counts as a family member, and Kimber would disagree, but Seb counts. And we've lived in Gig Harbor for about 7 years. When Kimber and I first got married, we were church hopping for about the first year, trying to find a church that had a young married couples group that we could plug into. And every church that we went to would be real excited when we came in the doors and they'd say, "Oh, you can help us start a young married couples group," which wasn't what we were looking for at all. We wanted to plug into something that was already there. And eventually people kept saying, "There's a great church over in Gig Harbor, a lot of young couples your age, you really need to try it." And I was familiar with Believers Fellowship. I'd been here a few years before, so we came over, and immediately the church very intentionally plugged us in. The Tuesday morning group of men that meets here has been real instrumental in my life personally. I was invited to the group by Jim Ramsey, who was leading it at the time, and he kept telling me, "Oh, you're a really good part of the discussion. Would you help me co-lead?" And about 2 weeks after I agreed to help him co-lead, he was out the door, and I was plugged in as the leader. And by leader of the group, better word would be facilitator. It's basically we choose the books together, we choose the study together, and then it's just a round table discussion. When I think of life in the body of Christ and what was spoken about in 1 Corinthians, it really brings home to me the group of men that we meet with on Tuesdays. They come from a totally different walk of life. They all have different life experiences, and the perspectives that each of the different guys has and the different perspective that I can bring, it just enriches the group to a totally different level. And there's a level of respect, whether we agree or not, to admire what people's life experiences have brought to the table, what value that brings to them. And at the end of the day, to realize that we're all here with the same goal, we're all serving the same God, and it doesn't matter what your perspective on a particular author is, or a political view, or an issue within the church. Ultimately, we've got a bunch of different guys in different walks of life serving the same God, and all of us, I think, benefit from each other when we walk out the door. It's a great experience to be a part of.